Most recording sessions have rules. Stop when the artist needs a break. Turn off the tape when something goes wrong. Give space when emotions run high. But Butch Vig broke all those rules. On January 12, 1994, Kurt Cobain was in the vocal booth at Sound City Studios trying to record a song. A difficult song. A personal song. A song about pain he'd been carrying since childhood. The music was ready. The performance wasn't. Kurt sat there with headphones on, microphone inches from his face, and couldn't make a sound. Butch watched through the glass, waiting, concerned. The track started. Kurt tried. His voice came out broken. He stopped. Tried again. Worse. Third attempt, he pulled off the headphones and broke. Completely broke. Hands covering his face, body shaking, raw, uncontrolled crying. Every producer instinct said stop the tape, give him privacy, turn everything off. But something told Butch to leave it running, to capture this. Not for the album, not for anyone to hear, just to capture the truth of that moment. What got recorded in those 4 minutes wasn't music. It was confession. It was pain. It was Kurt Cobain at his most vulnerable, saying things into a microphone he thought was off. And when he finally listened back 3 days later, he didn't ask Butch to erase it. He asked him to keep it, to protect it, to make sure it never got released. That recording still exists, locked away, the most honest thing Kurt Cobain ever created. And this is the story of what's on it. Los Angeles, January 12, 1994, Wednesday, 2 a.m., Sound City Studios, Van Nuys. The studio that recorded Fleetwood Mac, Tom Petty, Nirvana's Nevermind. Legendary, historic. Empty at this hour, except 2 people. Kurt Cobain, Butch Vig. Studio B, small, intimate, perfect for vocals. Control room separated from live room by thick glass. Soundproof. Isolation. Kurt sits in the vocal booth. Wooden chair, music stand, lyric sheet. Neumann U87 microphone. Industry standard. Beautiful sound. Catches everything. Every breath, every nuance, every emotion. Maybe too much. Butch sits at the console. SSL mixing board. Tape machine rolling. 2-inch analog. Studer. The good stuff. Real tape. Real recording. No digital safety net. What you capture is what you get. They've been here since midnight. 2 hours. 0 progress. Kurt trying to record vocals for a new song. Working title, Unnamed 4. Not for the album, not for anything specific, just something Kurt wrote, something personal, something he needed to get out. The instrumental is done, recorded last week. Drums by Dave, bass by Christ, guitar by Kurt. Simple arrangement, quiet, slow, almost a lullaby. Dark lullaby, sad lullaby. Melody that sits heavy in your chest. Lyrics about childhood, Aberdeen, divorce, moving between parents, feeling unwanted, feeling invisible, feeling like burden. Things Kurt rarely spoke about, things buried deep, things coming up now for some reason, coming up urgent, coming up painful. Butch knows this session is different. Kurt's been quiet all night, not his usual quiet, different quiet, heavy quiet, weighted quiet. Something wrong, something deep. Kurt puts on headphones, adjusts mic position, clears throat, nods at Butch. Ready. Or trying to be ready. Butch hits play. Music starts. Drums soft, bass low, guitar clean, haunting, beautiful, sad. Kurt closes his eyes, listening, finding his place, finding his voice, finding courage. The verse comes. Kurt opens his mouth. Nothing. Silence. Just breathing. Just the track playing. No vocals. He tries again, throat tight. Voice won't come. Third try. Sound comes out. Wrong sound. Strained, forced, broken. Not singing. Choking. He stops, pulls one side of headphones off ear, looks at Butch through glass, shakes his head. Can't do it. Not ready. Butch leans into talkback. Take your time. No rush. We've got all night. Kurt nods, puts headphones back, breathes, tries to center himself, tries to find whatever it takes to sing these words, to give voice to this pain. Butch restarts the track. Kurt waits. Verse comes again. He tries. Voice cracks immediately. Not performance crack. Real crack. Breaking crack. He pushes through, gets 3 words out. I was 5. That's it. Voice dies, won't continue. He stops again, frustrated, angry at himself. This should be easy, just singing, just words. But these aren't just words. These are confession. These are truth. These are things he's never said to anyone. Not Courtney, not Christ, not Dave, not therapists. Nobody. Butch watches, concerned. This isn't normal. Kurt's recorded hundreds of vocals. Never like this. Never this difficult. Never this blocked. You okay? Butch asks through talkback. Kurt doesn't answer, just sits there, staring at lyric sheet, hands shaking slightly. Butch makes decision. Risky decision. Producer decision. Sometimes artist needs push, needs challenge, needs confrontation to break through. Kurt, if you can't do this tonight, we can come back. No pressure, but if something's stopping you, maybe we need to talk about it. Kurt looks up, through glass, eyes red, tired. More than tired, exhausted. Not physical exhaustion, soul exhaustion. I don't know if I can sing these words. Why not? Because if I sing them, they're real. If I don't sing them, they're just words on paper. Butch understands. This isn't about performance. This is about acknowledgement, about making pain official, about documenting hurt, about creating evidence that these things happened, that they mattered, that they still hurt. What if we try something different? Butch suggests. What if you don't sing it? What if you just talk it? Just say the words, no melody, no performance, just truth. Kurt considers this. Talking is easier than singing. Talking is confession. Singing is art. Maybe he needs confession right now, not art. Okay, I'll try. Butch restarts track. Kurt waits. Verse comes. He speaks. Not singing, just speaking. Quiet, gentle, honest. I was 5 when they told me we were moving. I didn't understand. Didn't know what divorce meant. Just knew Dad wasn't coming. Mom was crying. Everything was boxes. He gets through first verse, speaking over music, melody underneath, his words floating above. Not singing, testifying. The verse ends. He stops, breathing hard, like he just ran a mile. Emotional effort, not physical. Second verse comes. He continues, voice shaking now, not from weakness, from emotion, from remembering, from feeling it again. I was 7 when I realized I was the reason. Mom said it to her friend. Didn't know I was listening. Said, he's just like his father. Made it sound like disease, like curse, like something wrong with me that broke everything. Tears now, visible through glass, streaming down face. He keeps going. Has to finish, has to get it out. I was 9 when I stopped crying. Decided feeling nothing was easier. Built walls, made myself small, made myself quiet, made myself disappear. His voice breaks, completely breaks, not crack, shatter. He pulls off headphones, puts face in hands, shoulders shake, sobbing, real sobbing. Years of held pain releasing, flood breaking dam, everything coming out at once. Butch should stop the tape. Every instinct says stop, give privacy, turn it off. This is too personal, too raw, too private. Not meant for recording, not meant for anyone. But something stops him. Some producer instinct, some human instinct, some knowledge that this moment matters, that this truth matters, that sometimes the most important things are the ones that hurt most to say. His hand hovers over stop button, doesn't press, leaves tape rolling, leaves mic hot, capturing everything. Kurt doesn't know, thinks tape is stopped, thinks he's alone, thinks this is private moment. Starts talking. Not to Butch, not to anyone. To himself. To the universe. To the kid he was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't fix it. I'm sorry I wasn't enough. I'm sorry I believed them when they said it was my fault. His voice small, child voice, hurt voice, broken voice. I'm tired, so tired, of pretending I'm okay, of pretending success fixed anything, of pretending fame filled the hole. Nothing fills the hole. Nothing makes the 5-year-old feel wanted. Nothing makes the 7-year-old feel innocent. Nothing makes the 9-year-old feel safe. He's crying, talking through tears, words tumbling out, unfiltered, unguarded, true. I thought music would save me. Thought if I was good enough, talented enough, successful enough, maybe I'd finally feel like I deserved to exist. But I don't. Still don't. Still that kid. Still unwanted. Still broken. Still blamed for everything. Butch sits frozen, listening. Tears on his face too. This isn't recording session anymore. This is witnessing. This is being present for someone's pain. This is holy somehow. Sacred. Important. Kurt keeps talking. 4 minutes, 32 seconds. Saying things he's never said. Admitting things he's never admitted. Feeling things he's spent 20 years avoiding. It pours out. All of it. The pain, the blame, the shame, the unworthiness, the exhaustion, the hopelessness. All of it. Recorded, captured, preserved. Finally, he stops, sits quiet, empty, exhausted, but lighter somehow. Like confession does that. Like speaking truth costs everything, but gives something back. Butch doesn't move, doesn't speak, just sits, giving space, giving time. Kurt finally looks up, through glass, sees Butch, sees tears, realizes Butch heard everything. Face goes pale. Did you record that? Butch hesitates. Honesty required. Yes. Kurt's face changes. Anger, fear, betrayal. I thought it was off. I know, I'm sorry, but Kurt, you needed to say those things. You needed to get them out. That wasn't for anyone to hear. I know. Silence. Long silence. Kurt processing. Butch, waiting. I want to hear it. Are you sure? No, but I need to. Butch rewinds tape, hits play. Music starts. Kurt's spoken verses, then the break, then the confession. 4 minutes 32 seconds. They listen, both crying, both understanding this matters. This is real. This is truth. When it ends, silence. Kurt sits, processing, feeling, understanding something about himself, about his pain, about his truth. Finally speaks. Don't erase it. I won't. But don't let anyone hear it. I promise. Not Courtney, not the band, not the label. Nobody. Nobody. Just us. Just this moment. Kurt nods, stands, takes off headphones, walks out of vocal booth, sits next to Butch at console. They sit, silent, present, witnesses to pain, guardians of truth. They stay there for an hour, not talking, not working, just sitting. Sometimes that's what people need. Not solutions, not advice, just presence. Just someone willing to sit in the pain with them. Not trying to fix it, not trying to minimize it, just acknowledging it exists, that it's real, that it matters. Kurt smokes 3 cigarettes. Butch drinks cold coffee. Studio hums. Tape machine idle. Equipment breathing. Waiting. The night outside is dark. LA dark. Never truly dark. Always glow. Always light pollution. Always city that never sleeps. But inside this room, this moment, it feels dark. It feels quiet. It feels like the world stopped for these two people to exist in this truth together. Around 3:30 a.m., Kurt speaks. First words in an hour. My dad called last week. Butch listens, doesn't respond, knows this is just beginning. First time in 2 years. Wanted money. Didn't ask how I was. Didn't ask about Francis. Just money. Said he needed it. Said family helps family. Family. Kurt laughs. Bitter laugh. He wasn't family when I was living in my car, when I was eating ketchup packets for dinner, when I was sleeping under a bridge. But now I'm rich, and suddenly he remembers he has a son. Butch stays quiet. This isn't his story. This is Kurt's. His job is to listen. I gave it to him. Sent a check, $5,000. You know why? Not because I care about him. Not because I forgive him. Because I wanted him to know I made it without him. I wanted him to see that I became something despite him. Despite everything. Kurt's voice cracks again, but no tears this time. Just anger. Raw anger. But it didn't feel good. It felt empty. Like I'm still that kid trying to prove I'm worth loving. Still performing for someone who will never see me. Still hoping if I'm successful enough, talented enough, rich enough, famous enough, maybe he'll finally say he's proud. Maybe he'll finally say, I matter. He puts his head in his hands, not crying, just tired. So tired. When does it end? When do I stop being that kid? When do I stop needing his approval? When do I stop letting him have power over me? Butch finally speaks, quiet, careful. Maybe never. Maybe that wound doesn't heal. It just becomes part of you, and you learn to live with it. Kurt looks at him, really looks, sees understanding, sees someone who gets it, not fixing it, not minimizing it, just acknowledging it. How do you live with it? One day at a time. Some days better than others. Some days it doesn't hurt. Some days, it's all you feel. But you keep going, because that's what survivors do. They survive. Kurt nods, understands. Survivors survive. Not thrive, not conquer. Just survive. And maybe that's enough. Maybe surviving is the victory. They sit longer. Another 30 minutes. Then Kurt stands, stretches, looks at tape machine, at the reels, at the captured confession. Keep it safe. I will. And Butch, thank you for not stopping the tape, for letting me say it, for hearing it. Thank you for trusting me with it. Kurt leaves, walks out into LA night. Butch stays, sits with the tape, with the weight of what he witnessed, with the responsibility he now carries. Guardian of truth, keeper of confession, witness to pain. He carefully labels the tape. Kurt, January 12th, private, never release. Puts it in case, locks it in vault. Safe, protected, sacred. 3 months later, Kurt is dead. April 5th, 1994, Seattle. Gone. That recording remains, locked in vault. Butch kept promise. Never released, never shared, never played for anyone. But it exists. 4 minutes, 32 seconds of Kurt Cobain at his most honest, his most vulnerable, his most human. Not rock star, not icon, not myth. Just hurt person saying hurt things. Just child who never healed saying things that child needed to say. Years later, Butch talks about it, carefully. Doesn't reveal details, doesn't play it. Keeps promise. But acknowledges it exists, calls it most important recording of his career. Not because of music, because of truth. Because sometimes job isn't capturing performance. Job is capturing humanity. That night, job was witnessing, preserving, honoring. Some journalists have tried to get him to release it, offer money, claim public deserves to hear, claim it would help people understand Kurt. Butch refuses every time. Promise is promise. Privacy is sacred. Some things matter more than money, more than career, more than history. He's been offered hundreds of thousands of dollars. Archive institutions, museums, collectors, all wanting that tape, all claiming it belongs to history. Butch says no, every time, because it doesn't belong to history. It belongs to Kurt. And Kurt said no. That's enough. That's everything. Sometimes interviewers push, say Kurt's gone, say he can't be hurt now, say the world deserves to understand his pain. Butch gets angry then. Rare for him. But this matters. Kurt's gone, but his dignity isn't. His privacy isn't. His humanity isn't. That recording is sacred. It was a moment between two people, a moment of trust, a moment of vulnerability. I won't violate that. I won't betray him. Not for money, not for history, not for anything. And that's where it stays. In vault, protected, honored, safe. That tape sits in vault. Will stay there. Should stay there. Not everything needs to be public. Not everything needs to be consumed. Some things are sacred precisely because they remain private. Because they were never meant for us. Because they belong to the person who spoke them. And that person is gone. But it mattered. That night, that session, that breakdown, that confession. It mattered to Kurt. Gave him a moment of release, moment of honesty, moment of feeling heard, even if only by one person, even if only for 4 minutes. It mattered. That's what recording is sometimes. Not capturing performance, capturing moment, capturing truth, capturing humanity at its most vulnerable, most real, most beautiful in its brokenness. Butch kept the tape, kept the promise, kept the memory. Still thinks about that night, still cries sometimes, still wishes he could have done more, saved him somehow, but knows that wasn't his job. His job was witness, was preserve, was honor. He did that. That's enough. Has to be enough. Some stories don't end when the music fades. They stay with us, quietly. If this story meant something to you, join our community, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Where are you watching from? Which city? Which part of the world? We read every comment.